Alright, so now we're going to look at the short fight loss with Bloodhound 2. Based on the situation that you're in at the minute, I'm guessing what's happened so far is your third zone, you've scanned the beacon and you know where the final zone's going to be, but you were in a gunfight or you spotted someone running towards this choke point between the two mountains, so you would know that they're going to this direction, whatever it may be. I just want to point out, first of all, if you're playing for the win and you know this information right here, I'd be playing for one of these buildings, and if not the buildings, then I would try to hold either this side or this side of the of Caustic's perimeter. There's also a wall, if I remember right. There's two walls. There's one here, and if not, there's just one. You could also play that, so you could play these two walls here. But if you're going for kills and you want to get this team that went to the buildings, that's totally fine. So we're going to go with that you wanted to go for kills. So again, we're just playing this through at half speed. So you, basing off the information that you know that someone's here because you saw them or whatever, that's fine. Just first of all, see when you're running like this, run behind cover. Run behind cover. Don't run in the open like this, because if someone was standing on one of those buildings, or as you run past this rock in the car on this side, someone was on the roof, which they were once you scanned, they'll have clear line of sight of you and you have absolutely no cover whatsoever. The only cover you have is this wall, and you're still a distance away from it. So always run and cover when you can, and then if you have to make a break for the wall, you should be sprinting with no gun and sliding into it. So that's the first thing, so run behind cover. The scan was spot on, there was no issues here. You want to clear out this entire area because you don't know where they are, you just know that they're in this vicinity as before. You pop the scan a little too early because there's the scan there, but look how much distance you have to go to get to this wall, and you end up only scanning one person. It just said hostile detected and say hostiles. If you would wait, slide as far as you can, go straight into the wall and then scan, chances are you would get a broad scan, but chances are, because you're closer, you would get a further, more in-depth scan, and you would have scanned the other person as well. Either or, the scan was fine, you know they're there, you know okay, they're over to this left side. One thing I'm just going to point as well, I also noticed as you were sliding down there, your teammate was kind of lagging behind. So if you look here, I'm going to rewind it and play it back. Look here, your teammate's right behind you, that's fine. But as you slide down the hill, that distance becomes bigger. So either your teammate was walking or situated next to something. It looks like he's hugging the wall there. I'm not too sure exactly what he's doing. But as you were running from the top of the hill, you were, you know, on top of each other. But as you start to slide down the hill, and I'll just play it through, just watch the little green arrow. It starts to get further and further away from yourself as you slide here. So whether or not your teammate was sliding down the hill or not, I'm not sure. That's just one thing I noticed. Whenever you're going into a gunfight, if you're playing with someone, it's always better to be hand in hand when you're going into a gunfight. It makes it a lot easier when you're going into a gunfight. So I have the audio muted. You can play this back, but your teammate actually shouted saying he's on the roof. I have no grenades. You have 2 grenades in this gunfight and you did not use them at all. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. You know where they're at. You know he's up top. Your teammate is getting further and further away from you. I'm assuming where he is standing, I can't confirm it, but I'm assuming where he's standing is right here and peering through this onto the roof, and that's where he's getting shot from. I'm assuming, if not, he's standing out here with his head just above line of sight of the enemy from here. So you know he's on the roof. Your teammate gets some shots off. He says he does them for damage, that's fine. You want to push him off roof. If you want to fight this, you need to get him off the roof because he has the most advantageous position out of this gunfight. So he does some damage. What you should be doing, so You see the shots? From there, I would suggest holding your alt just for as long. At the moment you're about to both press hard into the gunfight, that's when you should be using your ultimate. By activating it now, it's kind of delaying the gunfight a little bit, and you're wasting time because you only have 30 seconds once you activate it. Having said that, I know you just scanned, maybe you want to get another scan off, which you do eventually, and that's spot on. If you want to do that, that's fine, but I would hold off a little bit. When you went to the left side here, you seen the shots, you know where he's at. Here, I'd be lifting out a grenade and then peeking around the corner and chucking your grenade high. And if you don't want to peek the corner, then you can vert nade, or it's also sometimes known as Valk nading. But all you're doing is essentially you're standing here, and you get your arc star has a further trajectory than a frag grenade and a thermite, so keep that in mind. So to throw the arc star is literally you're looking up and you're wanting to vert nade the whole thing. The arc star won't explode until it hits an impact, but the grenade's a timed thing, which is why vert nading with frag grenades is so useful. But if you get a vert nade and you manage to get it on top of the roof and your enemy is just behind, see these little slants here on the roof? There is another one on the back side of this building here. On the back side of this, there's another little slant. Chances are he's probably crouched there after he took damage. If you would have vert nade it all the way up over, or even stuck it close to the roof, what that does, even if he gets his bat or cell off, whatever he's doing, that delays him time to pushing back out from his little spot and then back onto the roof again. So you have two grenades, so you could chuck one and chuck two. Doesn't matter about the other teammate right now. Because he's on top, you need to get him off the top of the building because he has the biggest advantage. So you decide to pop your ult, that's fine, no issues there. Again, it's in the heat of the moment, so you know there's a sonar being scanned. And there's your clue right there. Even if you didn't ult right now and you didn't see the little red mark on the screen, you would know that it's coming from this side of the map, so you know to look left regardless. And you spot the enemy right there, and that's fine. So there's the teammate right there, and you know that the enemy team, or the enemy teammate, is still up top the building. So in this gunfight, you get the scan. There's two things you can do here. You can either play this box to your left, here and just jiggle left and right, jiggle shooting, or you were out in the middle about here, you're completely open right now. So if he pops a cell or he decides to cancel a cell and just force you, he's going to start spraying you down from the top, and you've got no cover to work with. Also, if another enemy team was here or way out to the left, or even back where you both came from, you're just going to get shot. You're too exposed here. So either play the box to your left, or like you kind of did here, it's just you didn't move as close to it to cut line of sight. You moved left and right here. So you moved right, then back left, and then back right again. That's fine. Maybe practice. Bloodhound's hitbox isn't as small as Wraith's or Octane's, so smaller left and right movements won't make as big a difference. But if you trace a little longer and then come back, just more of a left and right movement, it'll benefit you more because your hitbox is slightly bigger than Wraith's, Octane's, or Wattson's, I believe, or Lifeline's as well. But what I'm meaning is play this box, so if you would have strafed a little longer to the right, or just kept moving to the right from your original position, so you start it here, just keep going forward that a little bit further, keep moving right, and that cuts the line of sight. So if you're standing not right in close to it here, all I mean is you keep strafing to the right from where you're standing, you're then cutting the line of sight from this person. Because if the enemy right here manages to connect every single one of his bullets, even with you doing the small strafe left and right, you're dead because you've got absolutely no cover to work with. If you moved a little bit further right and just jiggle peeked this box with line of sight, blocking it each time, chances are he wouldn't have got a shot off. Now he does manage to hit you quite a few times there, and I'm just, for now, just take note of your health. So there's a couple of things you could have done here. You still have 24 seconds left on your ultimate. What I'm going to say is be aware of what you have at your arsenal. Okay, so let's say you continued as normal and you didn't use your grenades to take the guy off height. Okay, you moved behind this box. Perfect. Why not use your grenades now? Jiggle peek again, throw a grenade. That forces this Bloodhound to disengage. That gives your teammate time to push from where he's currently standing, which by the looks of it is still behind the wall. Even if the enemy, which is what happens, even if the enemy on the roof then comes out and starts shooting, it's actually this enemy over here that gets a couple of pot shots on him to damage him further, which eventually leads to the down even after this enemy decided to full send him. Because if you look, if you watch his health, he's popping a cell here, that's fine, no issues there. Once he gets around the corner, he should pop his ultimate immediately. He just delayed it a little too short, in my opinion. Just a little too short, but overall it was fine. Popping the ult was exactly the right thing to do when moving in an open area. So you could have tossed a grenade here, that forces him to disengage, which would have given your teammate enough time to get inside the building to where you were after this gunfight, even whilst the enemy's teammate was shooting him. So just take note here, you have a wingman and peacekeeper, a very aggressive loadout. You have a gold mag. Not sure if you're aware of this, but your gold mag will reload automatically after 5.5 seconds. So what you end up doing is you reload here. I would suggest moving inside, because you know one teammate's over here, or one enemy's over here, you know the other's on the roof, so none of them are in the inside. You know the inside's good cover. If you would have chucked the grenade and just slid in the door, and as you're sliding pop a cell or a bat, you decide to pop a cell or a bat, and that disengagement should still give your teammate enough time to push into the building with you. You decide to stay outside. I know you get stuck here, but I don't understand why you were staying on the outside. If your intention was to, I know you missed the jump and you get stuck in here, but if your intention was to jump up here and then jump on the roof, you have to remember that you're not full health, and the person up here is more than likely popped a cell or a bat, and I believe there is an audio cue. Once you get into here, you can hear the noise of a bat or a cell going off, which means he's at full health. So if your intention was to go up and push, that would be an unfair fight for you, because if we pause it right there, as you can see, you're already lower health than what he was, and I believe your teammate shouted that he's a purple as well. Your teammate gives really good comms throughout this gunfight, and you need to listen to what they're saying as well and what they're telling you, because information's power, knowledge is power, as they say. So I would have slid into the building from here and not reload, just pop the bat, and in the time that you slide, open the door, pop the bat, your wingman would have reloaded automatically. So whatever happens, the situation was you stayed here. So you're in this situation now. So what happens is your teammate starts getting shot from the guy up top. It looks like he activated his ultimate right here. If he would have activated it as he came around this corner, it would have probably benefited him a little bit more. Even if the enemy starts shooting trying to find which one's which, if he zigzagged his way, as soon as he pops his ult, just a note or a tip for using Mirage, once you pop your ult, never continue in the same direction you popped it. So if you're running this way, do not continue to run this way once you pop your ult. If you're running this way, pop your ult, then just go left or go right, and then come back around and then continue on. Because if you keep running straight, the enemy's gonna, well, if they're smart, they're gonna figure out, okay, well, all the decoys are just moving out in a star shape, so because it's not moving left or right, they should know that you're continuing on the same trajectory. So I would have activated it as soon as you came around that corner right there. That's when I would have activated that, and it might have saved him. That he would have built up enough momentum to get a slide and then a jump in, and then got into the door next to you if you would have taken the door route. So he gets shot, and if you notice there, just very, very briefly, your teammate's also getting shot by this guy. So if you would have threw the grenade, all of this and the initial damage, and he's still taking damage, so he is, all this damage he takes from this teammate, the enemy teammate, wouldn't have happened. So Burnsy would have been more health. So you decide to get inside. This is fine. As soon as you get inside this door, you should be closing it immediately and standing right in the middle. As you do eventually, but it should be immediately. You should be turning around as you see you're going back into this corner. All they need to do is drop open the door and turn, and then they can jiggle peek the door on you. Rather, if you go through the door and immediately close it and stand in the middle. So all this time you're doing right now, so right there, stop there and do not move. You end up moving back off the door again, like that. Don't do that, just stay on the door the entire time. Now, your teammate goes down, he shouts comms to you to say that, I think it was he done 86. I think it was 86, yeah, 86 purple damage. If you would have popped a cell instead of a bat, before he even gets downed here, because you remember a cell is only 3 seconds, so if we count from the moment you activate the bat, so 1, there's 1, sorry, there's 2, there's 3, and if you would have stayed in the middle of the door here, you would have seen that the enemy had already started to push him. So yes, there's 0.8 of a second, but if that cell would have popped off, you could have opened the door, and then you had clear line of shot of him. And if you started taking too much damage, all you can do, very simply, retreat back and close the door and stay in the middle of the door. Pop another cell. You decide to go for the bat option, that's fine. You get the bat off, but your teammate, again, from as we've previously spoken of different routes that you could have taken this gunfight, the teammate wouldn't have been in this situation, but we're trying to work with what we have here. So he goes down, you open the door, it fools the lifeline into thinking that you're going to push out. That's fine, no issues there. He climbs on the roof, you close the door again. What I notice is you close the door, but you keep backing away. If you close the door, you have to sit here in the middle. This stops the door from being opened. Okay. You decide to go out this way. You spot the enemy here on your right side, and then you do something very silly, I'm afraid. You run, and then you turn around and scan in this direction. You know the enemy is to your right, and you know the other is on the roof. So my question is, why are you scanning in this direction? The ideal situation, if you were to take all the knowledge in at the point in time, is back into the corner you went to, or just sit on the door and look slightly up in the north, I think it's northeast direction. There, in that direction. Yeah, well, northwest, sorry. In the northwest direction, you would have scanned him here, and he would have still been highlighted as he's moving in to push you, so you could actually trace him through the wall, ADS in your wingman or your PK. So you're in a 1v2 situation here. To win 1v2s, you have to isolate each of the teammates. You're currently in a 1v1, the other teammate's isolated because you know he's on the roof. Your teammate is telling you he's on your right, he's pushing your right. He even tries to ping it for you. So there's the info you know. Okay, he's on the roof, he's moving right. So this, if you would have scanned as you turn back around, you see him go to your right there. If you would have scanned right there, that would have traced him. You run, slide ADS, and you know this should be a 1v1 fight. And you have, I think it's about 5 to 6 seconds, but you get an amazing PK shot on him. So there's a 1v1. Missed your first shot, miss your second. Your wiggling left is spot on, because what you're doing is actually what I was saying about the box on the outside. You're breaking line of sight. So here's the line of sight. You go left, you break it. You peek out again, you go left again, you break it. That's spot on. Miss your shots, that's fine. We all miss shots. Amazing PK shot, 107. You need to take note of that value. You need to, because look at your health in this gunfight. Alright, he's 107. I don't know what colour of shield he was there. Either way, 107 off a PK shot, regardless of what shield he is unbelievable. I think you get the crack just as your ultimate dissipates, so you can't actually see the colour. Yeah, you can't see the colour of what you cracked him there. It kinda looks red, but I think that just might be the Bloodhound ending. So you get your first shot, miss your second, that's fine, but what you do here, you didn't let the PK do that initial pump, which means once you pull out the PK again, it's going to do the animation of a pump. That will get you killed. Just take that extra split second, you're already behind cover when you go left, just let the PK finish its pump. You don't need to reload it. You do not need to let it reload, you have 3 pumps left in it. Just let it finish. Once you deal that 107 damage, again, amazing PK shot here. You miss your second there. See right here? I would not be playing left side here. Look at your health. And you've already done 107 to him. I would be full sending like crazy on this Bloodhound. You have 3 pumps left, plus a gold mag wingman. So you know it's going to be full, even though it's reloaded now, it was going to be full mag regardless, which was 9 bullets by default without boosted loader. So I would not be peeking this, I would be full sending this straight on him. He's going back, and you see him whenever you try to get your shots on him again. Once you move out, he's popping a cell right there. He's trying to get his health back because he knows he's low. If you would have full sent that and got one good PK shot on him, he's dead, and then it's a 1v2. Or sorry, then it's another 1v1. And you're still at full health because he was not going to be shooting you, he's trying to heal. So if you would have got the down, what you could then do is 2 things. You can either continue on out the door, close it, pop a cell if you wanted to, but bear in mind his teammate's lifeline. If the lifeline comes in and gets the res, he's going to be blocking the door for you to get back in. So what you could also do is go behind this little desk here and just jiggle peek it, stay crouched, get your reload in with your PK, ADS it to charge up, and then just uncrouch, get the shot off, crouch again, uncrouch, get the shot off, and then it's just a 1v1 fight after that. But your teammate right now is screaming at you, telling you he's pushing your right hand side, he's moving inside now. And what are you doing? Because you didn't full send, you would have been behind cover at this point as he's coming in. He's still in this room to your right. He hasn't made it into the hallway yet, or into this middle part, or through this hallway yet. All of this is time. But you push out into the open, and now you are completely exposed. You have no cover whatsoever. And because he's in the channel, or the tunnel to your right hand side now, it's just an easy kill. So, I'm going to read through the notes again just to see if I spot anything else. So yeah, use the grenades. Grenades is a really good way of opening fights. One thing I didn't know, see whenever the Mirage got downed, Mirage's passive allows him to go invisible for, I think it's 3 seconds when he's downed. So the lifeline doesn't know where he's at, plus the lifeline just turns away because he knows that you're in here. So he's going to push you. What the Mirage could do is start to crawl towards the door, because if you wanted to break this fight up completely with this Bloodhound and you didn't want to fight anymore, you could do a full reset, just go back. The Mirage is waiting outside the door. So if the Mirage comes to this door and You're on the outside at the minute. Just trying to get a good, right. Just trying to get a good angle to explain this, right. So if the Mirage crawls to here, you then come out, close the door behind you, let the Mirage push up onto the middle of the door. They cannot push out that door. They have to break it. That gives you time to get the res in. And remember, if you would have broken the fight, at this point, after you got the 107 damage, after that, if you wanted to reset and break up the fight, he's going to go away and heal. The lifeline's trying to push you inside. If you break right now, you 100% would have got the res in, and then you could do a full, complete reset of the gunfight. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you have any other clips that you want me to have a look at, just give me a shout.